Secretary Remulla, tukoy na po ba natin kung anong grupo involved itong mga nahuli? Isang grupo lang ba sila? Magkakaiba?
Hindi, scattered kasi it again, as Secretary Aguda said, it started online and then they used the black peace motive to assault the palace. Buti na lang na hindi sila pumunta sa People Power Monument at doon ng gulo. Kasi kung doon nangyari, mas marami masasaktan. Dito naman, kung Mendiola lang at mako-contain talaga ng PNP at PSG ng lahat yan.
Ito na nga, John Vic Remulla, nagugas kamay na. Chavit Singson, tinidiin. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Naglabas nga ng pahayag si John Vic Remulla ukol sa nangyaring kaguluhan sa Mendiola. Saad pa niya ay si Singson umano ang nasa likod nito. Pagpas lang ng mga pulis sa mga inosenteng tao, si Remulla pala ang mastermind. Narito ang buong detalye.
Secretary John Vic Remulla, DILG. Remulla, sorry po.
Hindi ako tumayo eh. Good morning. As of 11 a.m. yesterday, the President and I were in touch constantly every 20 minutes to assess the situation. He was in a secure facility inside the compound, monitoring every single step. At approximately 2 p.m., while I was at the command center in Camp Crame, he called me and asked me to personally assess the threat level that was going on in Ayala Bridge. The anarchist burned a container truck that was put by the PSG to block the entrance of the Ayala Bridge. Subsequently, at around 3:30, the corner of Mendiola and Legarda, I think, at 3:30, a crowd of approximately 5,000 converged at that corner. The President's directive very explicitly stated that the PNP shall act with maximum tolerance. And with maximum tolerance, they only had their riot gear and no firearms. I repeat, the approximately 4,000 policemen deployed to contain the rally had no firearms on them, except for the SWAT group that was in the vicinity. The purpose of having no firearms is because when you engage a crowd, the chances of your firearm being pulled from you and being used against you is very high. Having said that, number one, there was no discharge of weapon from any PNP official. I repeat, there was no discharge of weapon. Number two, there was no tear gas used by the PNP. All the soldiers, all the policemen behind had instructions: use maximum tolerance. So they had no tear gas and they had no firearms. Number three, only when the mob were throwing Molotov cocktails did the police push back. That crossed the line. When rocks were thrown, you could shield yourself. But Molotov cocktails crosses the line. That can cause death. Having said that, the police pushed back. Pushing back using maximum tolerance. And one by one, they were apprehending the characters who were throwing rocks, Molotov cocktails, or engaging them physically. After the arrest, after all of that having said and done, the protest subsided at around 5:30 p.m., after which we ascertained that the following happened. There was an arrest of, and we get this straight, 216 individuals, 216, comprising of 127 adults and 89 minors. The minors were characterized as following: 65 were children in conflict with the law, and 24 children at risk. What is the difference? Children in conflict with the law is 15 to 17. Children at risk is 14 and below. Of the 216 that were arrested, we'd also like to report that 95 PNP personnel were wounded. 95. Some of them serious, requiring medical attention. They were brought to the PSG station here in Malacanang and also to the PNP General Hospital for further treatment. Now, I would like to commend the PNP for their performance yesterday. They acted according to law. They acted according to instructions. I would like to debunk the rumors going around that someone died, that there was a death. There were 0 casualties. I repeat, there were 0 casualties. What is spreading around in social media is fake news. There were, however, people who got hurt. None of the protesters were seriously hurt. I repeat, none. By seriously, I mean that they would have to be hospitalized. The police got hurt more than the protesters. And that is something notable to everyone. Nakakaawa po ang mga pulis natin. Binuhusan ng tubig galing sa kanal. Binato ng hollow block. Binato ng Molotov cocktail. Nasusunog sa tabi nila. Pero ganun pa man, walang ginamit na dahas laban sa mga realista. Sayang naman ang efforts ng buong Pilipinas na nagprotesta. The 65 or so thousand that protested and aired their grievances, which the President duly respected their right to do so. Their right to grievance was marred by maybe a group of 1,000 hooligans who wanted nothing but to spread anarchy. The first children in conflict with the law interviewed said that they had intended to burn the palace. They had intended to burn the palace. However, we could not take that at face value because these were children in conflict with the law and we still needed the DSWD to process them. So a full report of their intent will come out in the next few days after the interrogation of all those held. The suspects are all held at the MPD station, where they are undergoing processing. The minors are with the are being interviewed by the DSWD to determine whether they will be tried as adults in the coming months. So that is my report for all of you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates Jr.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, ang ating SILG Secretary, DICT, and our spokesperson. Magandang umaga, and our press from Malacanang. Okay. Sinabi na po ng ating butihing SILG John B. Cremulya ang pangyayari. Isa lang po ang masasabi ng Philippine National Police. Ang Philippine National Police ay naghanda sa ganitong aktibidades na idinaos coinciding with the 53rd anniversary of the declaration of martial law. And with that preparation, we have utilized about 50,000 nationwide na kapulisan. Those half of those police were in Metro Manila, and not only the personnel were used, but the different resources of the Philippine National Police, the logistics and the finances that we need to secure this activity, particularly the protest rally of individuals and group. As a whole, it turned generally peaceful, attended by about 84,000 nationwide po yun na mga protesters, divided into several groups. In Metro Manila, there are 16 areas and in totality 130 plus areas po yun. And so those are the deployment and utilized resources of the Philippine National Police. And of course, we were supported by the different local government units. Napaka-importante po yan because of the equipment that needed, especially in responses that be needed, and especially in the contingencies na ginawa ng ating mga kapulisan, lalong-lalo na po ang ating National Capital Region and the 5 districts in Metro Manila. And with that, it is very unfortunate na nagkaroon po ng mga isolated incidents. That is particularly in Ayala Bridge and another 2 incident in Mindiola. That is when the group of protesters in Luneta ay pupunta po, supposed to be papuntang EDSA Shrine, where a group of marami po doon na rallyista, but they were stopped of course here in Malacanang area, particularly passing through Ayala Bridge and more particularly 2 incidents in Mindiola. In-ensure po natin ang deployment dito, lalong-lalo na this is the seat of power. Nandito po ang kanilang pinupunteriya, nandito po ang Malacanang area. And so, hindi po sila nagtagumpay sa kanilang pinayagan po natin silang makapasok sa Mindiola at a distance, but they have pushed their way going inside. And so, with that violence, so unfortunate na nagkaroon ng violence, ng bato, and so on and so forth, leading to arrest of a bunch of tignan natin terorista kung tawag doon, and or word ng ating butihing secretary, that breach the peace and order, especially kokonti lang sila, about they're monitored to be about 300. It is very unfair for the rallies, particularly nandun sa Luneta and nandun sa ating EDSA Shrine and People Power Monument, na napakatahimik po, at nagpapasalamat kami sa kanila in the cooperation and cleansing their ranks. The investigation will be a continuing one, such that we will for sure the tracks of these 200 or 300, including the arrested personalities, whether they are minors and or of legal age, mapapailan po natin ang kaso. Certainly, they have left tracks. Sinabi na po ng ating DICT, and working with the DICT at merong kapasidad din po ang Philippine National Police, certainly they have left tracks from the moment that they have committed this act during the actual rally up to the time that they were recruited for whatever purposes. Magandang umaga po.
Mali na po tumanggap ng tanong. Maricel Halili, TV5.
Secretary Remulla, tukoy na po ba natin kung anong grupo involved itong mga nahuli? Isang grupo lang ba sila? Magkakaiba?
Hindi, scattered kasi ito again, as Secretary Aguda said, it started online, and then they used the black peace motive to assault the palace. Buti na lang na hindi sila pumunta sa People Power Monument at doon ng gulo, kasi kung doon nangyari, mas marami masasaktan. Dito naman, kung Mindiola lang at mako-contain talaga ng PNP at PSG ang lahat yan.
Pero what are the chances, or tukoy ba natin kung sino yung mga posibleng nag-utos, especially dun sa minors, na mag-start ng violence?
Wala pa po. DICT is working on it. They are ascertaining kung sino ang may-ari ng website, kung saan nanggagaling, and we will know in the end. Habang nagda-tactical interrogation pang mga bata, malalaman natin kung ano talaga nangyari.
Ano po yung plano nating isang pang kaso, especially dun sa mga adults?
We will, andyan yung arson, andyan yung grave physical injuries, And we can go as far as sedition. Yung statement lang nila na we intend to burn the palace, gusto namin sunugin yung palasyo, is a seditious act in itself.
Salamat po.
Tuesday New DCBB.
Good morning to Secretary or Remulla or PNP Chief. Nabanggit niyo, Secretary, na zero casualty tayo from the protest yesterday.
Yes.
But today, sir, nag-confirm po si DOH and Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo. Mayroon daw po isang lalaki na matay because of the rally. Sinaksak daw po. So, paano natin ano yun?
Ang information namin kahapon, doon sa site mismo, at during the altercation, there was no, wala kaming nakitang ganon. Kung may nasaksak man yan, hindi na galing sa PNP yan kasi walang kutsilyo ang PNP. So, I would suppose it was one of the anarchists who stabbed him if it were the result of the rally. But during the rally itself, all the ambulances were there. We monitored where they went at wala kaming nakita na nasaksak.
Right. Follow up lang, sir. May nabanggit po si General Nartates kanina na parang tinitignan din po ninyo na as terrorist yung mga nagsagawa nung mararahas na aksyon kahapon, including yung burning of the van or yung sasakyan po dyan sa Ayala Bridge, and then yung pananakit sa mga police and other civilians. Can we call them terrorists, sir? O paano ba? Sasampahan din ba sila ng kasong terrorism?
Okay. It will be a result of the continuing investigation as yung ebidensya po ay tinitignan natin. So that's why maybe it can lead to terrorism or violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act. With regards to the reported death, wala pa pong nakarating sa ating himpilan ng pulisya, lalong-lalo na dito sa Manila Police District about death. If this was reported to have a stab wounds, then our police will investigate that for sure. What's so important is as of now, we don't have report of death through gunshot wounds. Kasi yun ang importante, yung gunshot wounds. And the reported casualty or the reported mga nasaktan yesterday, up to last night, tubo na mahaba na medyo sharpen dun sa dulo. So that caused these lacerated wounds. And a lot of contusions from among the not less than 70 police.
Thank you, sir.
Sunod, Alvin Baltasar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Good morning po, Chief PNP, or DILG Secretary can answer also. Secretary General Nartates, even before na nangyari ito, yung kahapon, meron na ba tayong intel report na natatanggap na may ganitong mangyayari? And nakuha ba sa intel report na may plano talaga lusubin ng Malacanang?
Yes. We had in the intel report, and that's why an additional phalanx of security was introduced into the roads leading to Malacanang. We knew that they would attempt. We knew that we had the suspicion that they would use violence. Pero ang directive talaga ng ating Pangulo is use maximum tolerance. We will not allow anarchy to prevail over the government. So, ginawa namin ang lahat at nagtagumpay naman yung plano namin.
Secretary, follow up lang dun sa sinabi niya kanina dun sa mga naaresto. Can you give us a profile ng mga naaresto? Taga saan ba sila? At ito ba ay hinakot?
We'll know more after they are processed kasi isa-isa kinakausap yan. But most are from Manila. Malapit lang na lugar. Naglalakad lang sila eh. Nakikita namin naglalakad lang. Papasok-pasok. So most are from Manila.
Secretary, isa na lang. Sa isang interview, sinabi ni Manila Mayor Isko Moreno na yung gulong nangyari kahapon, ang nasa likod, isang dating politiko at saka isang abogado. Without naming names, yun din ba lumalabas sa intel report?
Hindi pa namin pinag-aaralan. Iba yung nakikita namin suspects, pero iba rin ang sources ni Mayor Isko eh. So we will verify his allegations.
Salamat po, Secretary.
Sunod, Clisel Pardilla, PTV4.
Good morning po, Secretary. Secretary, you've mentioned earlier na posibleng may nag-utos. Does it mean that some of them were paid?
We are studying the matter. Sa ngayon, wala kami nakitang pera na malaki naman na hawak nila. Na habang doon, wala kami nakitang distribution. But nothing is ruled out. Na according to the chatter na nakikita namin, pinag-aaralan pa namin. Pero mayroon kaming isang narinig na rally doon sa Bonifacio Monument, sa Liwasang Bonifacio, na sinabi nung na may hawak na mic, sandali na lang, pupunta na tayo ng Mendiola, dalahin nyo na ng mga lighter nyo. So, that was a confirmation na they had intent to burn the palace.
Kay Secretary Aguda, sir, ano-ano pong mga major websites ng government yung nahack, at can you confirm na wala naman pong personal information ng ating mga kababayan yung nakuha? Thank you.
So of the 19 na nabanggit ko na deface, karamihan yun LGUs. 4 yung NGAs or National Government Agencies. Yung mga na-compromise naman sa kanila, like training modules, complaint platform, etc. So, and all of them naayos kaagad. Kasi prior to this weekend, we already have a list of government agencies na nasa target list nila. So, yung 4 na yon, inconsequential yung nangyari sa kanila. The other attacks na ginagawa nila is DDoS. They're trying to overwhelm some of the websites. And so far naman, madali namang naayos. To date, wala pa kaming verified report of exfiltration. So, wala pang personal information na nawala. And siguro, idadagdag ko na rin doon sa sinabi ni Chief kanina on the terrorism side. Yung pong, kung mapatunayan po na terrorist yung crime, na terrorism yung crime na nagawa, yung pong nasa mga online, yung mga nag-organisa po sa online, gumamit ng digital platform to result into violence, kasama po sila, hindi ko mawala sila physically doon, hindi sila damay. So, damay sila kasi nagsimula po yan, nag-organize sila online Salamat.
Sunod po, Christian Yosores, DZMM.
Good morning po.